So another thing we can do with interfaces that's really nice is extend an interface, or essentially inherit from another interface. Similar to the way with object-oriented programming, I can have a class that will inherit functionality from a parent class. We have a similar concept with interfaces. I have this dog interface, which has a name, age, breed, and bark, and it doesn't really need to be separated out like this. That was, just to show you how that works. But let's say I also want to have an interface in my app for service dogs. They're treated differently. They're a different type. So a service dog will have a name, age, breed, and a bark method, but they're also going to have, a job. What is a service dog's job? Are they a bomb sniffing dog, a drug sniffing dog, a anxiety, PTSD dog? So instead of recreating all of this stuff from scratch, instead of this interface service dog that has a name of a string, and I won't type all this out, but age of a number, instead of doing that, I can just add on the extends keyword and then whatever interface I want to extend or inherit types from. So automatically now, service dog already is going to have name, age, breed, and bark as required in the service dog type, thanks to extending dog. And then I could add in, job, which maybe job is going to be just a union literal type. You have to be a, what do we have? Drug dog, drug sniffer, or bomb, or I don't know, guide dog. There's many others, but let's just say those are the only choices. So now we have this type service dog, and in order to make a valid service dog, let's say Chewy is our service dog, and he's of type service dog. He has to be an object, and if I hover over Chewy, it's going to say it's missing job, name, age, breed, and bark, even though I only had to write job in here. And I'll just go through this quickly. Name will be Chewy. What else do we have? Age will be 4.5. Breed will be a Labrador, and then he has to have a bark method, which just returns, how about bark this time? That's the only requirement. It has to return a string, right? Yep. And then finally, we have to have our job. And job has to be one of these choices. Let's say that he is a guide dog. And let's misspell it. We get an error. So instead, I'm going to say guide dog, correctly spelled, capitalized correctly. I could have used an enum for this as well, but we talked about that a little bit. Union types versus enums. Anyway, and just like that, my service dog type is going to inherit all of the type rules from dog and then add on a tiny bit. One note that is important to understand is that when we extend an interface, we actually can extend multiple interfaces. So we're not limited to a single inheritance model where service dog can only extend dog. If I had another interface, I'll come up with an example. I can extend from multiple.